They vanish, but their sounds remain. And I became what still was named. They left in songs I couldn't keep, in echoes buried deep. No final word, no last refrain, just me, still mouthing pain. I reach for voices made of dust, of love, of shattered trust. But every note that used to stay just slipped further away. I am not sound, I am the space they left when they erased. I am what echoes leave behind, the silent shape by those I find in every room where once they sang. I stand where memories hang. I don't repeat what used to be. Footsteps long since gone, but still they press me on. I trace the patterns lost, designed, and live inside the line. No one can hear the things I feel. They fade, but still are real. And though I'm not the sound they were, I keep the after stir. I am not scream, no voice, no cry. I am the silent why. I am what echoes leave behind, the shape of love they left unsigned. No longer loud, no longer near, but still I hold them here. So if you feel a ghost inside, that's me, where echoes hide. There was no cheer, no crowd, no name, but still I stood, all just the same. Ooh. Ooh. No hands applauded when I rose, no stage, no curtain close. I wasn't bathed in shining light, just dusk that turned to fight. They didn't see the way I stood, still bruised, still misunderstood. But every breath I claimed as mine was proof that I'm divine. I wasn't made for grand displays. I bloom in quiet ways. I listen know. They crowned the ones who ran with flair, but me, I climbed thin air, no finish line, no trophies gleam, just grit and fractured dreams. I stood alone in shadow light, no fanfare, but I still fight. The kind of strength they'll never see leaves deep inside of me. No gold, no stage, no flowers thrown, but still I held my own, no self. No one clapped. wasn't born to fill the air. No stage, no velvet chair. My melody was soft and slow, a hum most wouldn't know. I never begged to be replayed, just stayed in twilight shade. But in the quiet of the night, I burned without the light. Not every song is made for fame. Some sing without a name. I am the song that never cried, to be performed or verified. I live in breath and silent touch, too soft, yet still too much. You may not hear me in the crowd, but I sing just as loud. They tune their ears to grander chords, to wins, applause, awards. But I remain beneath the sound, unseen, yet always found in whispered thoughts and aching bones, in souls that walk alone. I live in moments never scored, in pain that's not ignored. I never asked to be adored, just heard by those ignored. I am the song that stays unheard, the truth beneath the spoken word. You won't find me on any chart, but still I heal the heart. So when you weep and no one sees, you're joined by songs like me. I never wrote it loud enough, but it was always there between the lines. The words were never fully formed, just sketches, weather worn. They slipped through pages torn and gray, like truths I couldn't say. I etched in corners small and shy, hoping no one pry, but still the ink began to glow. A voice I didn't know. I thought I'd only write to mend, but silence became a friend. between the lines, where grief and grace have intertwined. They never asked to heal the world, just me when pain unfurled. And if your silence sounds like mine, then read between the
Not every silence is empty.
Some are full of notes left behind.
No curtain call, no grand goodbye, just echoes passing by. I left no trail, no final sound, just quiet all around. But in that hush, I scribbled low some things I couldn't show. Not meant to rise, not meant to shine, just meant to still be mine. They weren't for crowds or flashing light, just something to hold at night. These are notes left in the quiet, soft and small but still defiant. They won't be played on radio, but they still softly glow. If you've ever wept alone, you've heard them in your own. I didn't write for polished praise, just truth in quiet days. Each line a step, each chord a breath that pulled me back from death. No one clapped, no roses thrown, but still they led me home with melodies too faint to scream, but loud inside my dream. The quiet sang what I could not, a song I never bought. These are notes left in the quiet, where the loud world can't deny it. They speak in hums and subtle ache, but hold what words can't fake. And when the silence starts to press, they sing what I suppress. They sing what I suppress. Not every silence is absent.
Some are songs I dare not dance.
I stayed quiet so long
Until the echo spoke first.
I whispered into hollow stone, afraid to stand alone. My voice was thin, it barely stayed, a breath that slipped and swayed.
This is where the echo starts to speak. Where broken sounds no longer we. They climb the walls we used to fear and ring so crystal clear. If you've ever screamed alone, you know the echo's tone. It wasn't loud, it wasn't grand, but still it took my hand and led me through the quiet dark toward a single spark. I never meant to rise or burn, but some of us return, not as we were, but full and real, with scars that learn to heal. I thought I'd vanish soft and meek, but now I start to speak. This is where the echo starts to speak, where silence turns from cold to sleek. It teaches you your voice was there, just lost beneath despair. And when you finally let it rise, it shakes your quiet skies. I thought I was the end of sound, but echo found what I had drowned.
I didn't vanish, I just became the song. I used to stand behind the sound, too scared to be unbound. But little by little I let go and let the silence flow. I wasn't missed, I wasn't loud, just lost inside the crowd, until I found a softer way to drift and still to stay. I didn't leave to disappear, I stayed inside the year. I faded into the melody, a thread in every harmony. You won't see me, but I'm still there, in chords that fill the air. No stage, no name, no magazine, but still in every scene. truth survives invisibly. You won't recall just who I was, but feel the way it does. So if you've lost and sung along, then you've became the song.
No spotlight held me at the end, but music stayed like an old friend.
There was a version of me that never made the screen. It's round like red nail. I'm not gonna skip his head. She lived behind the final cut, where edits left her shut. She cried in takes that no one kept and broke while others slept. No filter, smooth the way she looked. No lines from scripted book, but still she breathed beneath the mask of truth. No one would ask. Not every frame was built to show. Some scenes stay down below. I was the version no one saw. The real, they cut the raw's flaw. Not staged, not posed, not dressed in light. Just me in quiet fight. And though they never saw her face, she shaped my inner place. Oh, I was the version no one saw. Skin too soft to let begin. She whispered when the noise grew loud and held what I disallowed. She wasn't made for likes or fame, but still she had a name. The one I call when no one's near, the voice behind the fear. She never begged to take the lead, just asked for space to bleed. I was the version no one saw, the silence underneath it all, the tear beneath the final smile that stayed a hidden file. But if you've worn a face too tight, you've met her in the night.
I didn't throw them away. I buried them where I still walk. There's music under where I tread from verses left unsaid. Each board a chapter I outgrew, but still keeps pulling through. I wrote
wrote them late beneath the light of fear and silent fight. Too raw to sing, too real to share. So down, they stayed right there. They didn't ask to be heard loud, just hid beneath the sound. Blank remembers how I knelt when truth was what I felt. I pressed my pain into the wood and hoped it understood. They caught my tears when none else could and turned them into good. Now every creek beneath my feet still plays what felt complete. I never sang them out for fame, just peace without a name. Whoa. These are songs I buried in the floorboards, lullabies the world ignored, but they survive in hush and dust, in truth, in pain and trust. And if your steps have ever cried, you songs were found. Even in silence, the chords still play. There's music where no sound escapes and pauses, pain reshapes. The loudest truth I've ever known was felt, but never shown. I used to think the quiet meant that nothing had been said, but now I know what lingers deep still sings when words just sleep. Not every song is heard out loud, some bloom without a crowd. These are chords beneath the silence, soft as breath, but built from violence. They never begged to break, the sky just rose when I asked why. And though no melody was played, they stayed and softly swayed. I found them in the stillest days and tears that had no praise. They wrapped around my fractured frame with notes too small to name. I didn't write them down to share, but simply to repair the pieces I had tried to hide, now hung from deep inside. Oh, they weren't for fame or flashing screens, just stitched between my seams. These are chords beneath the silence, I heard them call in winds and walls, but I kept walking, fearing the fall.
They whisper soft behind my days, like shadows learning praise. I turned away from every sound, afraid of what I'd found. The echoes knew what I denied, that grief still lived inside. But silence felt like safer ground, and truth that circles round. Each echo begged for me to stay, but I just looked the other way. These are the echoes I never answered, cries in the dust that I let fade. Words left unsaid, hearts left unhindered by all the parts I was afraid. But now I hear them loud and clearer, each one a broken mirror. I wore a face I thought was mine, composed by grand design, but every smile felt slightly bent. I hate just self-content. They sang of versions I erased, of dreams I never chased, but now their voices build a chord of who I can't ignore. They weren't ghosts or fading art, they were my buried heart. These are the echoes I'm learning to answer, not as regrets, but threads of me, calling me back, not toward disaster, but into depth I used to flee. And though they cried while I was sleeping, now I am softly weeping. I once feared the voice inside the ache, but now I know it was me. I couldn't wait. I chased the perfect line to write one wrapped in flawless light, but every word I tried to mold felt fake or just too cold. Then one day silence made me see that line was always me. I wasn't meant to craft or prove, just be the thing that moved. I never had to beg or bend, I was the song, not end. I was the lyric all along, not just the one who sang the song. I held the rhyme beneath my skin, the ache, the loss, the win. And though no pen wrote me in ink, I'm more than what they think. No chorus ever matched my tone, too raw to stand alone. But in each breath I left a trace of notes that made their place. I wasn't sung in someone's hit, but still my chords were lit. The music lives in how I feel, not charts, but what is real. I never needed stage or screen, my life was the between. I was the lyric all along, too quiet once didn't rise to find my voice. I found it on the way down. They said you speak when you are strong, but mine was buried low beneath the weight of all I feared, till ours made it appear. I found a sound when I let go of all I used to know. Not triumph loud or perfect pitch, but truth through every glitch. Falling didn't steal my song, it gave what felt so wrong. This is the voice I found in falling. Not proud, not clear, but still it's calling. It broke through silence, raw and wide, and rose from where I cried. You may not hear it in the light, but it still sings at night. No echo came to validate, just me in quiet way. Each bruise became a subtle chord that hummed when I implored. And in the dark where shame was thick, I found what used to stick. A whisper turned into a flame and burned the need for fame. Not every fall is made to fear. Some bring what we revere. This is the voice I found in falling. It taught me how to stop appalling myself for things I couldn't be, and gave back parts of me. So if you fall into and stayed, your voice was being made. The ground didn't end me, it returned my name. Not all stories find their reader. But they're still written all the same. There are pages in my spine, uncreased but still divine. I wrote them with a quiet pen, then hid them once again. No dog ears marked the tale I told. It stayed untouched, yet bold. Each line was carved in breath and fear, but left unopened here. Not every story must be heard. Some live beyond the word. These are pages no one turned, where silence lived and lessons burned. They never found a stranger's hands, but grew like shifting sands. And though they never reached a shelf, they held my truest self. I whispered them in rooms alone, to chairs and dust and stone. No editor to change my voice, just raw and hard-earned choice. Each paragraph a piece of me that didn't need to be seen, to prove it held a pulse of flame without the claim of fame. I didn't write to be adored, just heard by my own chord. These are pages no one turned, but still the weight of them is earned. They rest in places I once cried, and stayed though loved in
have to read to feel. Some stories simply breathe. There's a melody behind my eyes, it plays where silence lies, too deep to touch, too soft to speak, yet loud. In every blink I carry songs I've never sung, in looks that come undone, and though no record caught the sound, it's there, I'm around. You don't need voice to leave a tune, just eyes that show the moon. The melody behind my eyes tells truths no word could recognize. It moves in silence, breath by breath, and sings what still has depth. If you've ever looked and felt the song, then you have known me long. I watch the world demand a sound, but mine was never found in stages lit or lines rehearsed, just tears I didn't curse. Each glance I gave held quiet chords, not shaped for eager boards, but still they echoed soft and wide to those who stayed inside. My voice may sleep, but not my gaze. It hums through silent phrase. The melody behind my eyes is proof I lived without disguise. No need for lyrics to convey the ache that shaped my way. And if your stare once felt like mine, then you have heard the line. I didn't sing with lips or sound, but still my song was found.
I didn't shout to be remembered. I let the echoes do the rest.
I spoke so soft the walls replied, with whispers amplified. No crowd, no mic, no center stage, just sound inside a cage. I let my truths escape in waves, two corners no one braves, and still they found a way to stay, long past what I could say. You don't need noise to leave a trace, just time in quiet space. Echoes wrote my name, where silence wore no shame. They carved it in the in-between of notes that went unseen. And though I never raised my voice, they heard my quiet choice. I watch my echoes outlast me in rooms I'll never see. They traveled farther than intent, like breath the sky had sent. No monument, no plaque remains, just air that learned my name. And when they ask what mark I left, just say I whispered take. Not every legacy must scream, some haunt like tender dreams. Echoes wrote my name without the need for fame. They moved through walls and over years with grace and unshed tears. So if you've listened close in pain, you've heard
but I remained. And echoes softly named.
Not everything needs to be heard, but some notes ache to exist.
There's a weight in every sound unsung, in chords, still on the tongue. A melody that wants to breathe, but hides just underneath. I felt it every time I paused, when fear outweighed the cause. And in the space I left alone, it built a silent tone. You can carry what you don't compose. It lies in every pose. This is the weight of an unplayed note, the truth I swallowed in my throat. It haunts the keys I didn't press, but still knows my address. You'll never hear it through a song, but it's been there all along. I almost let it ring one night, but silence felt more right. It's easier to never try than let the echo lie. But still it hums behind my eyes, like storm beneath disguise. And every chord I didn't dare still sits in weighted air. Not every note will find a name, but still it holds a flame. This is the weight of an unplayed note, the whisper buried in my code. It never screamed, it never cried, but sang the day I died. And if you felt a sound too tight, you know it's quiet night. Oh, some songs never leave the throat, but still they wrote.
I wrote them.
My voice was small and left down where no one would fall. There are letters under faded skies, folded without replies. No stamps, no names, no place to send. Just thoughts I couldn't mend. I laid them down in quiet fields where dust refused to yield. Too soft to burn, too real to keep. They stayed in buried sleep. Not every message needs to fly. Some rest and still survive. These are the letters I left in the dust, written in grief, sealed in trust. They hold the things I dare not say, but hoped you'd find someday. And though the wind may sweep them far, they know way where you are.
Each word was carved from trembling hands, not meant for great demands. I didn't write to change your mind, just free what stayed behind. They hold no anger, bear no blame, just silence wrapped in name of who I was, of who I tried, when pain could not be tied. And if you find one in the breeze, it's me trying to ease. These are the letters I left in the dust, unread, unknown, but still robust. They may not make it to your door, but live forevermore. And if your heart has felt that, you've read what I can I never sent them.